Okay, so I have not turned on this camera in a long time. Camera, it's my phone, you know what I mean? Haven't set up in a long time. Hopefully you can't hear that plane. Because I just haven't had the urge. This is I have already completed 9 months of being unemployed. I am trying to stay busy and stay productive. I still set my alarm for the same time every morning. I'm working out more. The plan is to take you along with the things that I do this week and just show, like, okay, so what I'm doing to keep myself busy during unemployment that is also inexpensive or free. Because again, even though I do have a little bit of a budget to do something, I don't have a huge budget. I am going to put clothes on and go get my tailoring. So yeah, let's go do that. So I completely played myself. I had on a hoodie earlier because it actually was cooler this morning. I'm talking about like 8:30 this morning. But I put on this denim button-up shirt, which is more so like a jacket, and all I got underneath it is a wife beater, and I'm sweating. Walking to the tailor, Jesus Christ. All right, so tailoring done. I just got a skirt taken in the waist. For the quality of the things that I thrift, a lot of times it winds up being less expensive than buying something new, because now, like, so many things are just made out of polyester, unless you're spending, like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, which I do not spend on clothes. So sometimes it's better to just thrift something that's a better quality, and then take it to the tailor and have her adjusted, because the tailor that I go to, she's pretty good and her prices are not super expensive. Hi, good. Just want a Bronx resident ticket.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. I am here on Tuesday, June the 3rd at the Bronx Botanical Garden. This is my favorite place to be in the Bronx besides at home. And I like to come any day during the week besides a Wednesday, because that's the day that they have a farmer's market, and there's usually a little bit too much going on for me. So, the whole point of coming out here is to be in a green space, be in nature, and be kind of away from people. So, but today I'm noticing, I don't know if it's like a preschool group or maybe they have something going on in the little children's center, because it was like a lot of toddlers when I just walked in. So anyway, the goal for coming here today, again, is just to be outside of nature, but also to get some steps in, because like I said, my hair is straight, it's natural. If I just work out, it will revert in my scalp, and I pay good money. So I'm trying to keep this as straight as possible. Nah, they got some old lady groups out here today too. What's going on? Oh no, they waiting for the tram. I'm trying to keep it as straight as possible for as long as possible. So I'm gonna do my normal route that I do off the beaten path, basically, where people tend to not congregate as much. So I'll show you. Onward and overward away from that crowd. So the next area that I like to go to, and this area was closed down for a while. Mind you, I'm telling you all of this in case you have never been to this botanical garden. If you live in New York, or if you don't live in New York, when you visit, this is a nice place to come in the spring, summer, fall. It is, I want to say it's on almost 300 acres of land. So yeah, but this next area, I believe, is called the Rock Garden, and it was closed for a while, but it's open now. So once again. Move your ass over. There's like a body of water behind me that is man-made, but there is the Bronx River runs through the botanical garden, so I'm gonna go over there later. The chipmunks. There are chipmunks, all types of birds, snakes, obviously squirrels. Pretty sure there's rats in here, but thank God I've never seen one. I mentioned yesterday pros and cons to being unemployed. One of the pros, obviously, is having all of your time to yourself and to be able to create your own schedule, which I love, like, you know, that sense of freedom. But with all of that time, if you don't have, you know, the money or the resources to be able to get out and do stuff, that can be a little bit of a pain point. So the Botanical Garden in the Bronx is free for Bronx residents. You just can't get into any of the, you know, you can't get into any of the extra paid exhibits. You have to, you know, pay whatever the cost is for that. But like I said, I don't really care too much about the exhibits. For me, coming here is just like to get away and to be in nature, because the area that I live in, there are parks, but they are like more so playgrounds. It's not really like green spaces. I have to really like travel to get to green spaces, and I don't mind because it's beautiful here. Okay, so I'm sitting down here in the shade. It's probably not even 80 degrees outside, but because the sun is shining and all that, it is hot out here. And I have on a linen shirt. I think this is 100% linen, but I had a tank top on underneath here because I was like, I just don't like being cold. And I was like, I don't want to get out there and be cold. And baby, as soon as I started walking, I just stopped in the middle of the path or whatever and took it off from underneath here because I couldn't take it no more. So yeah, so as far as my job search goes, like I said, I'm still searching for jobs, just not as intensely as I was when I first became unemployed, and even, you know, as I was at the beginning of the year. I realized that a lot of the jobs that I was applying to, they weren't actually, I can't say if they were hiring or not. I don't think that they were hiring. But what they were doing is selling my information. So it would be like every time I would apply for a few jobs, literally the very next day, I would start getting text messages with some weird email, like iMail, what was it called? Whatever. I have an iPhone with some weird email saying, it wouldn't say my name, it wouldn't say what the job was, but it would be like, oh, we have the perfect job for you based on your background and your qualifications. Who are you talking to? Because you don't know who I am. Based on your background and your qualifications, and it would just say you only have to work 20 hours a week and you're going to get paid $1,200 a week. I'm just like, why do companies do that? I don't even know why that's, I was about to say I don't even know why that's a legal thing, but this is America, anything can happen. So it makes me wary about just applying to any and every job that I see. So now I got to do a little bit more research. I see a job, I look up the company. If it seems legit, then I'll go to that company's website actually and apply for the job on the website, as opposed to just applying through Indeed or through Glassdoor. So that's what I started doing, and that's helped a little bit, but it still doesn't, help 100%. Like I still get those text messages, and that's another thing how I know, like, they're not even emailing, they're just sending it through text message. So yeah, that's kind of weird and kind of creepy to know that you're out here trying to, get a job and your information is being sold. As always, I get shot. I'm gonna step on the Bronx one more time. Hey, go. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nigga. Hey. Staying alive is no job. Had second hands. Mom's bounce so no. So this part is so interesting because there's a DJ. I'm gonna show you. There's a DJ over there. Well, not a DJ. You can be the DJ. You can choose which record you want to put on, and based on the record that you put on, it changes the whole scene behind you. Here's our DJ. So now we got disco. Bachata. Go, feet, go, feet, go. So this is a book about graffiti, and then it takes you through all of the, like from the East Coast to the West Coast. So it has LA and Southwest styles, Chicago and Midwest, Philadelphia, New York, of course, Mid-Atlantic, Boston and New England, San Francisco, Seattle and Northwest, and then Southeast and style. So it's interesting to see how graffiti evolved, and I mean, if you're into that kind of thing. This is so cool.
Anything in this kitchen.
I'll have her cheese head.
What else? How about you? I'm buying.
Alright, so this is how I already know vlogging is not going to be for me, because I can't even remember to like introduce the day, say what's happening for the day. So I missed yesterday. Yesterday was Wednesday, June the 4th. I got up ready to go to the Met to see the Dandyism exhibit with my cousin, but it turns out the Met is closed on Wednesdays, news to me. So we wound up going to the Museum of the City of New York, which is also on Museum Mile, but it's like one of the first museums up there in Harlem, and it was really nice. I'll go back again. And like all museums in New York, it is pay what you can, basically. So it's affordable. You can pay what you can at the time if you are a New York City resident. If you are not a resident, then obviously you have to pay whatever the actual price is. So that was yesterday, and now I am in Brooklyn on my way to a little art exhibit. My friend's daughter does photography, and some of her photographs are being shown in an exhibit. It was like a 4-day exhibit out here, and today is the last day, and it's also her birthday, so that's cute. And I believe this is the first time her artwork is being shown. I know she was like featured in a magazine or something like that, you know, like local kind of stuff. But you know, that's not to discredit her, because I think she has the potential to go very far. She's a very good photographer. So I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna stay out here too long because I gotta get up in the morning tomorrow. But yeah, we're about to go in here and see what it's about. I don't know. Some people are like, oh, that's Brooklyn. It's gritty or hipster or whatever the fuck. I ain't with it. You on your of her photograph. Actually, it's both of these. So it's this one and that one. And just like that, I'm back to my neighborhood. So the show was cool. It was, it was small. It was nice to see some artists who have a little bit of, well, I should say photographers who have a little bit of a following, excuse me, because this is like a little dark spot right here. I need to make sure I don't step in nothing. And I need to look out for freaking, one night I was walking and something said get in the street. Hold on. One night I was walking and something said get in the street. And I'm so glad that I did, because it was a giant raccoon on a sidewalk and I could barely see it. I got it. I could barely see it, but I think I would have jumped out of my skin if I would have, walked close to it and noticed it right when it was next to me. So I'm glad that I did. But anyway, the show was nice, but I didn't stay long. Like I said, I basically just stayed to say hello to her, her family and everything, and make my way back home. It's almost like, I think it's just after 10 o'clock now. So yeah, so that was today. Good morning. Okay, so it is Friday, June 6th. I remember this time to introduce the day. I am going to host, so I'm volunteering today to host a senior prom for senior citizens. I volunteer through New York Cares, and they just have you can search by your borough. You can search by, I guess, activity type or volunteer type. So anyway, I just searched by my borough and saw that they had a lot of senior proms. So I guess this is something that happens every year in the summertime, but I thought it was the cutest little idea, and I was very interested to see what it was about. So it's just from 11 to 1:30 today. And I told my aunt about it, who was a senior, by the way. And she was like, oh, that sounds cute. I'll volunteer with you. So I'm just waiting for her to let me know when she gets close to my station on the train, so I can go ahead and leave the house and meet up with her, and then we'll go. So yeah, I will record as much as I possibly can. Obviously, I'm gonna, have to be working, but I will at least try to record the setup, and maybe when dancing and stuff happens, I'll be able to record that. So yeah, I'm excited. We will see how the day goes. Hope you are having a good day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope you're having a good day. So yeah, let's go do that. We are here. How cute. All right, let's see. Oh, thank God. Oh, good morning. We're here to volunteer. Volunteer signing?
Yes,
yes.
please sign right there.
Go ahead.